How happy would you be if you never had to pay for gas or groceries ever again? Here's your chance. 2 winners each will receive free gas and groceries for a lifetime in the Gas and Groceries for Life raffle, presented by Thomas J. Henry. Free gas, free groceries, 2 winners. All net proceeds benefit elementary school children and local food banks. So get rolling, hit the gas, and purchase your raffle tickets at gasandgroceриesforlife.com today.
Pickle, let's go to the hotline. There's a lot of coaching changes flying around the state of Texas right now. One of them, one of the biggest ones, happened out there in Parker County recently as the Aledo Bearcats have a new head man in charge. Let's go out to Parker County and talk with the head coach of the Aledo Bearcats. We're joined by Coach Robby Jones. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to chat with us. Congratulations, first and foremost, on the new gig. Has it all settled in quite yet that you're going to be the head coach of the Aledo Bearcats?
It really hasn't. I think once we start spring football, maybe that will settle in. But, Coach Buchanan's still around. And, see him, whenever he's here. He's not here every day, but not a whole lot has changed here.
And certainly not a whole lot should change. Things are going pretty well there at Aledo, I would say. I'm interested, whenever you got the official word, and I know you've been there for a while. You've been a key part of what has been this dynasty there at Aledo. But when you got the word that you were going to be the next head coach at Aledo, taking over for Coach Tim Buchanan, what was your initial reaction?
I was real hesitant of whether or not it was actually going to happen. I've been here for 23 years, the last 14 as offensive coordinator, and when Buck came back and people were asking me, well, is he ever going to retire? And I was like, you know what? I think I would probably retire before Coach Buchanan. So, it's been one of those things where, I didn't know if it would ever happen, but, now that it has, we're planning on nothing really changing as far as, the schemes and the work ethic. And that's what we told the kids the first day when it was announced that, nothing is going to change on our daily basis. We're going to continue to work and try to outwork everybody that's on our schedule and everybody throughout the state of Texas. But
That's a great point because, you guys this is one of the most decorated program in Texas high school football. You guys are reigning state champs. Things are going pretty well. And yet, it is now your program. You're taking over as the as the head coach. How do you balance taking over a program that certainly ain't broke, and so you certainly don't need to fix it, while still kind of putting your own stamp on it? How do you balance that?
Right, and that's the thing is we're not going to try to change anything. The program is running fine the way it is. We'll look to improve. We'll go out and we'll go visit some college coaches. See if there are things that we can add to our system that will make us better. But, you hit it. We're not changing. We're going to stay with the same philosophy as far as offense and defense is concerned. As far as my own stamp, I feel like I've put my stamp on the offense the last 14 years. And I don't think that I really need to come in and do anything, as the head coach to make any big changes.
Talking with Robby Jones, the head coach of the Aledo Bearcats here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Coach, I want to ask you about the guy that you're taking over from in Tim Buchanan. You've worked under him now for 14 years, as you've mentioned. I am curious from your perspective what you're going to take from him. We hear all the time that coaches are just they're products of the coaches that they learn under. What are you going to take from Tim Buchanan and apply to your coaching?
I'm going to listen to my assistants. That was something that he was good at. And I'm going to hire good assistants. I have one coaching position now with Coach Buchanan leaving, and we have a position, and he's always says, he's going to hire good coaches. If you don't have a good support staff, that doesn't make you a very good head football coach. And that's what I'm out looking for. I'm looking for somebody that's going to be a really good teacher in the classroom as well as on the field. And those are things that he always talked about. And he talked to us as assistants that we have to be great teachers. And so, I'm out looking right now for a really good teacher to fit in with our staff and add to us and make us better.
Another guy that is going to retire at the same time is another guy that you coached under, and Steve Wood. Steve Wood, of course, a longtime athletic director and a very successful coach in his own right as well. Kind of the same question. What are you going to what stands out about Coach Wood that you're going to kind of apply to your own coaching style?
Coach Wood's a great guy. I've worked with him for over 20 years as well. I think just his work ethic. He was a grinder. He was going to watch more film than anybody on the staff and make sure that he was prepared and he knew, everything that the opponent was going to do. That's one of the things that he said that I was going to get more time to be able to do, without having to be in the classroom all the time like I was. That he said, just get in there and watch video and study your opponent and be better each and every day on that.
Let me just ask bluntly about pressure. This is, as you mentioned, this is the most decorated program in Texas high school football. You're taking over for two guys who've got a lot of rings on their fingers. You got rings on your finger yourself as an offensive coordinator. Is there pressure to win there at Aledo?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of pressure to win in Aledo. Especially with those two guys retiring. And of course they've been the face of the program for the last 30 years. It's either been Buck or Wood. So there's a lot of pressure to continue with the standards that we have here. And that's what we're going to do is live up to those standards. Now, we are a growing community. So we're going to be for sure 5A one more year. And I don't know the exact numbers that we have attendance wise right now, but we're going to be pushing 6A next go around, which is going to make it even more difficult on us.
You certainly are, and yet next year you guys are going to be playing. They're 5A Division I, the defending 5A Division I state champs. The good. It's been about, Coach. It's been more than 2 months since you guys have won a state championship, so it's time to start looking ahead to 2023.
We did that. First day of off season, we got back from Christmas break. We told them, hey, that was last year's team that won that state championship. Now you got to go make your mark.
Do you have a feel quite yet on what this 2023 team is going to look like, maybe compared to that 2022 team?
You know what? I think we're going to be a pretty good football team. We have 7 starters returning on offense, so we should be a little stronger coming out of the gate than we were last year offensively. We did lose some key figures on offense. We lost our 2 starting offensive tackles and our 2 slot receivers. One of those receivers, Jalen Pope, who had a heck of a game in the state championship game. We're going to have to find somebody to replace him as a playmaker. But offensively, we should be a little ahead of the game. Where we're going to be a little further behind this year than when we started out last year is on defense. We lost our entire defensive front. All 4 starters on the defensive line are gone, as well as our 2 outside linebackers. The strength of our defense next year should be our secondary, where we return all 4 starters. 2 of those guys are getting lots of Division I offers right now, and then our middle linebacker, Devon Keys. He's one of the best linebackers we've ever had come through our program, and we're looking at him for a lot of leadership.
And finally, Coach, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up that offensive coordinator has not been the only hat that you've worn there at Aledo. You've also been the head track coach for quite a while. And we hear all the time from coaches about if you want to run the ball in the fall, you got to run the ring in the spring. How important has the track program been to the success that you guys have had there at Aledo?
You know what? We preach that. We tell our kids every day that track is part of our football program. It is our speed development. And for us to have the team speed to go play with the guys from Fort Bend Marshall, for instance, they're state champions in track, and we got to go play against those guys. We've got to train to be able to run with them out on the football field. And track is a big part of it. Our kids, every one of them showed up this morning at 6:45 to run track. And then we went into our off-season program after that. So track is a big part of our program. We preach it. We tell everybody throughout the state when they come ask us about our program that one of the things that we make sure happens in the spring is every one of our kids is on the track running. Even our offensive linemen, they were all here this morning. We only make them come twice a week to run, and then we allow them to go throw the shot and the discus, after that. But they show up on Mondays and Wednesdays, and they get their running in to try and make them faster and be able to move better. But, it's a very important part of our program.
He's Robby Jones. He's the new head coach of the Aledo Bearcats. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the new gig, and can't wait to see your Bearcats in the fall.
All right, thank you.